Okay, so see where the wire's touching the fondant right here? I'm gonna go ahead and wet it because I do any extra support I can have of the wire and the fondant adhering, I'm gonna do, because I want to make sure that those are actually sticking in there. So I'm gonna push that into my fondant a little bit so that it really, really sticks. Okay, all right. I'm gonna shape these a little so they have a little movement. Okay. All right, I'm liking how that looks. Okay, I have my black fondant, and I may do this in 2 pieces. I said I was gonna do 1 long piece, but actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do it in 2 because then I can freeze it.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna have a seam down the back. I'm gonna make these about 12 inches, and then I'll be able to seam it and freeze it, and it'll give us more structure. Now, the deal with this is you want it thick enough to support on the wire, but not so thick that it's too heavy and pushes the wire out, right? So it's that fine balance between too thick and not thick enough. And we're gonna do this in another way too. Okay. So we've got our black fondant. I'm going to go about halfway down the back and around, as I said, about 12 inches. So we're going to go 12 inches, about like that. I'm going to cut what I think is going to be the top. Okay.
So this is just one wing at a time?
Yeah. And then I'm going to kind of bring this like this. So I think that's about my wing shape. Okay. I don't want to lift it up and check it because
you lift the whole thing up?
I'm going to lift the whole thing up, but I'm going to freeze it first. Remember how easily it went in when I froze it?
Just to show the shape of it. Yeah, there we go. So it's, yeah, there it is.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think that's the right angle. Okay. What I want to do with this top end, because I want the top end, I can't just stick it here. I have to fold it over to hold, but I don't want it so thick here that I have a big giant piece. So I'm going to take this end and push it down and make it thin. So see how I did that? How it's thinner right here?
Yeah.
So that I can have a piece to fold over. All right, so I'm going to cut that straight. And now I'm going to put this in the freezer and let that freeze. And hopefully it will go on there supported.
That'll make it a little more stable anyway.
Yeah, so while I'm doing that, I have another board so I can cut my other wing. Okay, so we'll go ahead and make the other one. Give it that shape. You know, you see I'm not being exact. I'm just kind of eyeballing it because it's a wing. It's not going to be exact.
Looks like it's pretty thick fondant there.
It's pretty thick. I might thin it out a little bit. I'm thinning this part so I have something to fold over.
Yeah.
Cutting that. It's not, actually it's not that thick. It's about 1/8 of an inch. So it's going to be heavy, but you're also going to have this part to support it, okay? All right. Let's go ahead and put this in.
The freezer.
We're going to let these harden for a good long time. While those are hardening, we're going to add our sugar to the bottom. So you can use sanding sugar. I'm going to use just regular sugar. And what I would do with that is I would paint piping gel onto my board and onto my snow. Get that open. So I've got piping gel and I'm just painting it all over here. And I'm going to have a little bit on the board because I want it to be over my fondant. And now I'm going to take my sugar and I'm just going to pour it on.
That's that fancy cake decorating sugar, huh?
This is fancy cake decorating sugar. You can use sanding sugar. You can use whatever you want. I'm going to use this because I like how this looks.
And you have it.
And I have it. So you can see
that plays a big part for me, by the way. Do I have it?
Do I have it? Is it something
I have to go get it?
So I'm just pushing it. I'm just pouring it on and then just pushing it on to the onto this piping gel. Nothing gentle, nothing, you know, nothing exact about this. Just get it on there, and you can put a pile of it on and then kind of
there you go.
Spread it around.
No.
So that it makes snow.